Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one, I just want to take a look at a couple of card reveals from the set Terrestrial Festival, which will become Prismatic Evolutions. Now, unfortunately, because this is indeed a special set, there will not be that many new cards, quote unquote. There might be some reskins, like some previous cards with new artwork. However, there won't be that many new stuff, which is a bit of a shame for us players, really. But we do have this new Regigigas, which honestly looks really, really solid. So yeah, title wasn't lying. This thing can 1-hit KO Charizard for 4 colors energy, which we'll talk more about in a second, how you could, in theory, power this guy up. But does 100 damage base, so sadly, no food for GLC players. RIP. But yeah, 100 damage base, but if your opponent's active Pokemon is a Tera Pokemon, this attack does 230 more damage. So that's not just 230, that is 230 more damage. So this thing does a whopping 330, which is enough to 1-hit KO Charizard, Dragapult, and pretty much every other Tera Pokemon that sees play and is relevant. So yeah, kind of crazy to be honest. I didn't think we'd see a counter to Tera Pokemon like this, truth be told. I think we're still a bit too early in the Tera mechanic. But maybe Charizard sees way too much play in Pokemon Company's eyes, and they're just like, yeah, let's just print a counter or something. But I don't know. I think this honestly could be a way of them trying to push the next mechanic, which is the owner's Pokemon, because like it doesn't make any sense for owner's Pokemon to incorporate the Terra mechanic, because like N, for example, is a trainer that does not originate in Paldea, so it doesn't make sense for him to have like Zekrom that is in Terra form. I think it would be cool to see Zekrom in Terra form, of course, but I do think it makes more sense if they're all just from their own region. So yeah, we won't see Marnie's Morpeko in Terraform, for example. We'll see Marnie's Morpeko EX. So yeah, I think this is their way of saying that, but if they don't give us a way to universally accelerate energy, because they did give us a Grimmsnarl reveal at Worlds. Now, if you don't remember what that Grimmsnarl does, fair enough, but it basically allows you to search your deck for up to, I think it's 5 basic dark energy, and attach them to your Marnie's Pokemon in any way you like. Now, Regigigas, of course, is not a Marnie's Pokemon, so I'm assuming we'll see some other ways to accelerate energy that makes this Regigigas make more sense, I guess, is what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, aside from that, how else could you power this up? Well, I think Baxcalibur is probably your most obvious bet. And definitely, I think Chien-Pao will get a huge boost from this. So, that's cool. You could use Glass Trumpet and Blissey, but that is a bit expensive, to be honest. So, yeah, good luck with that one. It will be a bit tricky. I do think that Lugia Archeops gets a huge buff from this, but it might just be too little too late, especially if Lugia is supposed to be rotating like next April, I want to say. Don't quote me on that one in case I'm wrong, but I do think it's roughly April time we'll see next rotation. So, yep, no Lugia anymore. Also, no Lost Box, which will be strange, but yeah, Lost Box definitely would have liked this card to play around with. So, basically any Pokemon deck that can accelerate energy to any Pokemon would definitely like to try this out at some point. So, no Ancient Box, no Future Box, sadly, but sure, Jewel Breaker. I think it's absolutely worth it. 4 colorless, one shots Charizard or Dragapult. It's just a massive trade off. So, yeah, definitely think it's worth it. It's also on like a semi tanky basic single price Pokemon. I know 160 doesn't look like a lot in this day and age. 300 on a Alolan Executor X doesn't feel like a lot, to be honest. So 160, it's all right, to be honest. It's okay. Retreat cost is definitely a bit brutal, so probably don't want to play more than 1 or 2 of these in your deck if you don't have to play them. But, aside from that, I do think this is a very, very strong card, to be honest. I'm happy that we're getting good cards in a special set. It can make them a bit more awkward to pick up, but to be honest, it's just something nice for TCG Live because, of course, like with this set dropping online, it'll just be a case of picking up new card art rares, really, and not much new stuff. So it's cool that we're getting a Regigigas that's at least very good. So yeah, very much looking forward to this card. Also got this Seaking revealed, which I did make a community post on, kind of bashing it a wee bit, saying it was a bit weak. Some people have pointed out its many uses, which is cool. I do think this will be good in GLC, and that was a great shout, by the way, to whoever mentioned that. I do think this will be quite impressive in GLC. You just have to track down the stadium. But yeah, if you're not too familiar with the Festival E deck, basically it all revolves around having the stadium festival grounds out in play. And basically, this Pokemon can use an attack twice if you do have that stadium out in play. However, note that it does have to be an attack that it has, so you can't use TMs, which is a wee bit of a shame. I wish that would have been a thing, but sadly not. That has been clarified. If the first attack knocks out your opponent's active Pokemon, however, you may attack again. So, like, the huge appeal of this archetype, of course, is those multi-prize turns, or even, 3-prize turns, where you knock out a Pokemon and then you can soften something else up. But, 60 damage is a wee bit pitiful. Like, even just doing 120 for 1 energy is a bit brutal. It's a bit rough. It's a bit rough, as I was saying there. It's not even two-shotting anything really relevant. So, yeah, it's a wee bit rough in that sense. The draw 4 is nice, I will admit that. Essentially going into your next turn with 5 extra cards is glorious. But at the same time, your opponent could always play Iono. They could do that if they really wanted to. I know Iono's not going to be an every turn game thing, but it's something to bear in mind, and the damage is definitely a bit subpar. You'd have to get some damage mods involved, I think, to just cope with the fact that you're only poking for 60 or 120. So, at least Dipling could do like 200 after attacking twice. This is, a bit pitiful, I would say, in damage, but seems like a very fun card, cool for GLC fans. So yeah, definitely gets a thumbs up from me, and I'll try this out in standard for sure. But yeah, Regigigas for sure with like Bax Caliber looks to be quite powerful, so might actually go ahead and try out some Regigigas list early in testing. But yeah, do let me know what you think of these cards down below. And yeah, it's been Power, and thank you for watching.